that person or that topic in a whole. Because there is some brothers that don't even want. And surprisingly, sisters think that a brother would jump at a chance to be in that type of relationship. Some of them say no. So I see it both ways. But what type of, advice would you have for something like that?
Okay, is that for me or is that for Queen?
That's I guess for both of you, if you can answer. But I guess from Tajh, they actually wanted Tajh to answer. But if Queen has some, insight on it as well, because you are the woman, especially if it's a sister who isn't feeling it at the time. So I guess for both of you. Go ahead, Tajh.
Okay. Okay. So here's my. Hold on one second. I was just hooking up the DVD player for my daughter. So I'm sorry.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. I would say, no, you gotta use the one downstairs. Sorry about that. I was talking to my daughter. Yeah. So my advice would, and it's true. There is a lot of people who, I'm not gonna say a lot of people, but there are times where you run into those type of situations where people grow. Their understanding evolves. As they come into contact with new information, knowledge, and their understanding begins to evolve. And so, in that type of situation, like, if you're in a relationship with someone, a monogamous relationship, and then one of the partners, concept on family and relationships starts to evolve, I would say the best advice is to really have an open dialogue about it, to really establish some really good communication around it, and, really just talk about it and just put your feelings out on the table,
Right.
as far as your thoughts and your feelings out on the table. But at the same time, when doing that, kind of preface it with the acknowledgement that, okay, we're about to get into a touchy conversation, touchy area of, and so I just want you to know that, I love you, and that whatever I'm about to say after this is not with the intention to hurt you or to harm you or to make you feel, less than what you truly are, and kind of preface the conversation, because it's not the easiest conversation to have. So you may need to kind of like create a ritual around it in order to protect yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, as far as like, look, set up the ground rules. Like, okay, look, we're about to talk about this, and we know this is not an easy topic to talk about. But look, no matter how thick and how emotional it gets, just know, let's both acknowledge and know that, whatever comes out, my intention is not to hurt you or to harm you or to, in any way. It is just to communicate clearly with you, let you know what I'm feeling, what I'm experiencing, and so that we can kind of, try to come to a common ground and see eye to eye, And so that would be the first thing, and then just kind of get into the conversation and really just speak honestly about what it is that you're feeling, what you're experiencing, and what your thoughts are, surrounding surrounding that, that topic. And it's okay, and understanding, like, as human beings, I mean, for me, I'm going to tell you straight up how I see things, The way I see things when it comes to relationships is that don't nobody owe me nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't owe me that you have to love me, you know what I'm saying? And you don't owe that to me, Like, if you love me, it's because you want to love me, you know,
right.
or because I may have earned your love and your trust, you know. But you don't owe that to me. It's a gift, you know. And whenever you want to take that gift back, it's up to you, you know. And I feel like a lot of times when people get into relationships, they feel like they become entitled, as if like your love belongs to them and that you're supposed to give it to them. You know what I'm saying? And that, how dare you take it away or change your mind or feel that you may want to do something different, you know? Like,
right.
For me, that's not how it works. It's your love. If you want to give it to me and your reasons for why you want to give it to me, that's up to you. You know what I'm saying? Why you want to love me, you know? And hopefully I've inspired and have earned that love, you know, from you. Have, you know, proved myself in a way to where you feel like you want to gift me with your love and your loyalty and your trust and your, you know. But it's not something you owe to me, you know, that I'm entitled to, that I'm just born, you know, and feel like, oh, this person's supposed to love me and only me forever, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't work like that. It's not reality. That's the romantic view of things, but it's not reality.
I was going to say, that's very romantic.
I was
going to say that's very romantic.
I mean, I'm talking about the traditional, you know what I'm saying, like the fairy tale type of thing, you know what I'm saying? But the real reality is that you have to earn the love of another person. And if you want to keep it, you got to earn keeping it. You have to inspire people, inspire that person to where they like, oh, nah, like, yo, my man, he's the man. I ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Or my woman, she's the bomb. There's no way I'm going nowhere else. She is incredible. You know what I'm saying? That's inspiration. It's not by force. It's not obligation. You know what I'm saying? There's two paths. There's the path of inspiration. There's the path of obligation, you know? And so when you feel obligated, you know, to love someone, it becomes a burden over time.
Right.
And hold on one second. What's up, Ed?
Go ahead. Let me tell my, you know, let me answer the question too while he's doing that.
We'll be done.
Let me say this, that because that was beautiful, and yes, you know, there's sometimes it can work that way, but by me being in this position and people contacting me because I've done this, 3 or 4 times already this show, I get people who contact me, and the main problems that I hear is that, okay, I want to do this polygamous relationship, but she's not down for it. Or we said we're going to do it, but now she's reneging on what she said she's going to do. So what I have to say to answer the question that you're asking is that there is a chance that it may work where if I'm in a relationship with a man and we started out as monogamous, and then 5 or 10 years down the line or whatever, 2 or 3 years down the line, we decide, you know, or he comes to me and say, hey, babe, you know, I'm thinking about doing, because usually it's the man who is starting to decide to do this if you're in a relationship together. And so he's coming and saying, hey, you know what, and usually it's because of his enlightenment. He's becoming enlightened, and now, or, you know, in a certain different religion, and now he wants to practice the things that he is coming enlightened to. He wants to bring along his woman, okay? And because she wants to either please him or try something new or whatever have you, she will agree to it. But what usually happens is she will agree to it, but when they finally get in it, something goes wrong. And the reason why it's going wrong is because she's used to it one way, and now we're trying something different. And it's usually not her that has the problem. It's usually the new person that has been added to the family. She has the problem. She comes in and, you know, she wants things a certain way or whatever have you, when this woman who's been there all the time has it one way, and this new person is coming in another way. At the same time, it can flip. The one who's been there the longest, she can start feeling some kind of way. Because remember, we're still talking about here where we have been taught to love one person and have one person and live and die with this one person. And in her mind, you know, starts playing tricks on her because you still got to deal with the family members who's saying, girl, you've been married to him for 10 years. You won't let him have a woman come in here? You know, you got the children. Mama, what's going on? I don't want no two mommies. So you got all this stuff going on, and usually there's a problem. Either they have to stop trying to practice it or the marriage doesn't work. I had people contact me on YouTube saying, you know, I don't know what to do because my husband came to me and said he wanted to practice polygamy, and I agreed to it, but now it's not working out. But my husband, he doesn't want to stop because I no longer want to continue to do it. But now he doesn't want to stop. So what do I do? And I'm like, I ain't the one to answer that question for you. This is something that you have to deal with because you agreed to it. So if you agreed to it, now you got to work it out. A lot of people go into polygamy and they haven't really studied and found out what it really is because it's more than just having more people in the family and, you know, sex or whatever have you. It's way deeper than that. This is a mental thing. This is a physical thing. And so I say that if they're already in a relationship and they try to go in and practice this, you're going to have more problems than you would have if you came in on the table like my friend and I did. We came to the table knowing, hey, we're going to be polygamous, bottom line. So that wasn't our problem. Our problem wasn't the multiple people. Our problem was totally different. We had a different way of thinking of how to practice it. It wasn't the fact that we were going to practice it, but nevertheless, we came to the table with the same thought process that we are going to live like this. So hopefully that would help the person who's asking the question because it's really a hard thing. You know what? I equate it to church. A lot of times you have a couple who's in the church together because she might have met her husband there. But what if her husband wake up and say, wait a minute, I don't want to do this no more. I done found out some stuff. This stuff is whatever. He leaves the church, but she's still there. Now you got a problem because now he's writing me saying I'm no longer in the church, but she is. Now I don't know what to do with this. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Do you get rid of her because now you no longer want to go to church? You know, it's the same thing. So it's kind of a hard thing to do, but you know what? If she agrees to do it or if he agrees to do it, just know that going in it is okay, but trying to come out of it, it's going to be a problem.
Absolutely. And then also, too, you know, there's no quick fix for something like that, you know?
Right.
It's something that, and it's not anything that anyone can, like, give you the answer. You have to, you know, you have to answer those things for yourself as far as what it is that you want, you know? And when it comes to what you want, sometimes to get what you want, you have to make sacrifices, you know? And so you have to ask yourself, am I willing? What am I willing to sacrifice? You know, and it may be your family. It may be what you're used to. It may be your comfort zone. It may be, you know, it may be your man, you know, it may be any one of those things, you know. But you have to ask yourself those hard questions and then you know, come to grips with that and see what it is that you can take and what you can't, you know.
Right.
And only you know that, you know. No one else can do that for you. You know, only you know that. And so it's not easy, you know, and that's why it's so important, like, you know, when you're bringing in another person or whatnot, that if you're with someone originally in a monogamous type of situation and you decide to embark on a polygamous journey, that the man and the woman vet the new woman together, you know. So it's not like, oh, just the man, you know, what he wants, you know, but it has to be something that is that works for the entire family, you know, not just for that man. And so, you know, that's important as well, or else you may run into some issues on down the line, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to that, you know.